Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego DC Batman Magazine number 34. So this is my first video I'm recording after my vacation. I had a really good time. I was in France, the UK, and Italy for an amount of time, and because these magazines I've only looked at when they've been sent to me by a very, very kind viewer. Thanks, you know who you are. I appreciate that. These are something that's not available in the US, and or sometimes I can find them at brick conventions and different stuff like that, but they are available in the UK, France, and Italy. So some of the things that I brought back with me were a ton of these magazines. Now I'm going to start off with this one. This one's in English. A lot of the other ones that I got, actually most of the ones I got, were either in French or in Italian. So I'm not going to be able to read everything in the magazine itself, but I still wanted the sets or the little poly bags or paper bags, foil packs, whatever they are, and some of them are really, really interesting. So I'm excited to look at them. This one is, I don't know the set number, I'll have to look it up later, but it says Lego Batman 34. I've looked at a couple of the other Lego Batman ones. There was a Ultimate Batmobile mini thing, and there was a kind of a jetpack one with a minifigure plus the accessory. So we have this one here, and this says it was £4 UK, which is what I paid for it. I paid just the retail price for all of these. I got these at random kind of I don't know what to call them, souvenir shops, but like these magazine vendors, magazine shops kind of on the street at various places, and so that's where I picked most of these up. You can see over here I do have the couple minifigures that I traveled with to take pictures at different monuments and different sightseeing things. These were supposed to represent myself and Missy Alexander, who's been featured on one of my videos in the past, and those carried with me. So if you stayed tuned, I did do some community posts with these figures in them while I was in Europe, and now I am back. I did not go to Denmark. I did not go to the Lego the Lego house, the Lego place. I didn't go to Billund, but maybe sometime in the future. So anyway, I'm glad to be back, excited to look at this. So we will get into it, and right off the bat here, I'm going to take the foil pack off of this and go through the magazine a little bit like I've done in the past. The nice thing about being over there is I also got Lego magazines from different times, like some of them were maybe older. Also, some of them are from different themes that I haven't gotten them from here before. So this one's cool. It comes with the Batbike here, game over for Batman. Also looks like we have some League of Super Pets stuff here. Maybe a little bit of a maze there, some table of contents, and we have some different stuff about the Riddler here. These often have a comic, so we have a comic that has some of the characters in here, maybe a little drawing thing here, which is cool. Again, more comic stuff. Then we have the instructions for this Batbike. There is a poster in here which has billionaire by day, superhero by night for Bruce Wayne and Batman. This one has a frosty team, which I don't know who is on there. It looks to me to be Mr. Freeze and somebody else that I'm not recognizing here. So it's interesting. Some more games, different stuff, games for the super dogs to look at, the continuation of the comic here, and then at the back some more games, activities, tons of different stuff, and then some solutions to the games, a sneak peek at what's coming up. I don't know when this one's coming out because I think this is the same one that I saw as like a coming soon in one of the other ones, so I have to look for this one. I don't know when it is, but it looks really cool. I would like to get this one with the ATM and the Joker minifigure and everything like that. And then on the back we have something for, oh, a heroic pen holder. So you could cut these things out, glue them, tape them around some toilet paper rolls, and make a little thing. So different crafts, different games, activities for people, as well as the comic to read. So there is some value in there, and I think that's pretty cool to get that. And then also the instructions for the Batbike here. So we will get into this. This has 49 pieces, no minifigure in this one as far as I can tell, which is okay. And while I put this together, I will speed the video up and then I'll slow it back down to review this set, this foil pack, and this magazine here. So while I build, I'll speed the video up and then I'll slow it back down to review it. I may have already said that. Anyway, while I build, enjoy. Okay, so while we look at the build for this LEGO DC Batman Magazine foil pack for the Batbike, I just wanted to say thanks for watching and click the like button. Now on to my review for this set. Okay, so that is this LEGO DC Batman foil pack for the Batbike or the Batcycle, this Bat motorcycle here. This is very cool. Yeah, this is great. You know, it reminds me a little bit of the, there was a Venom bike polybag that came out, Marvel with Venom, and that was a polybag that had the minifigure and it had a small little bike build. I've done different Spider-Man bikes. I've done different Bat bikes as well, different Bat motorcycles of various scales. And sometimes they're a side build in a bigger set. Sometimes they're their own thing. There's a Technic Bat cycle and lots of different stuff. And this one's pretty cool, actually. I was a little bit worried about it based on like the picture here, because it does use kind of these bigger pieces down here for the axles or where the wheels are going to go, and I thought it was going to be a little bulky and a little weird, but I actually really like how this has come together. And I don't know if I have a Batman figure here super close. Let me see. Well, I'll use this one, which is from the new Batmobile play set. So I'll use this Batman, even though their cape may prevent it from working perfectly. I could always take that off. So let me see here if I can get this character on there. Possibly not. So let me take this off. So this polybag does not come with a Batman figure. This is just one that I had somewhat nearby, and we can kind of see the scale here. So this is minifig scale, which is cool. I would have liked if they maybe threw a minifigure in there, but I also get it. This is substantial enough to stand on its own. I think if it were a poly bag, they would have maybe made it a little bit smaller and maybe included the minifigure. I think it's a cool idea to make minifigure scale stuff that doesn't come with a minifigure, especially for these things. So if you get the magazines regularly, you can kind of get that stuff. And I also think it's cool to make not minifig scale stuff. So I looked at a Batmobile that came in one of these bags that was not minifig scale. It was kind of that micro mini scale that I also really enjoyed as just a toy standalone. But this is really cool here. So you start out by building with the 2x4. You add on these dark bluish gray pieces, which will eventually attach the wheels. Then we have some bracket usage for some studs on the side, which is really nice. I actually thought this was going to feel too wide, too bulky. It's probably 4 studs wide, maybe at the most, unless you really flare out the wings here. So it's actually not that bad to get down to. You can see the 2 studs in here, and maybe it's about out to 4 at the end there, but there is some studs on the side stuff, some slope here. I like the little pops of yellow, so you can see those yellow brackets used in there. Slope here, we have the rounded corner tile there, which is really nice. Building up on the back, or the kind of the rear fender area for the bike, we have like the back of the seat, as well as this piece kind of hanging over the wheel there, which is very good. Clip on some bat wings at the back so you can move those. 4 studs for a figure to sit. And then we have the handlebars, which can be oriented to fit in a minifigure's hands. These can be easily moved. I'm a little bit surprised there's not something on top of these pieces, but that's okay, not a big issue. They just could potentially fall off somewhat easily. If I turned these figures' hands here, we could get this kind of to the approximation of holding on to those pieces there. So they can fit a minifigure. Then we have more brackets up front here and some studs on the side with just these slopes there. I like the use of the kind of sort of gunmetal-ish gray stud in there just for some details. Looks kind of metallic, which is very cool. And then up at the front, we have kind of the front fender maybe, or whatever up here, which has this modified plate with the bar. Again, this kind of interesting angled piece, same one that's back here, but it's on a hinge as well as a like headlight there, so that is hinged like that and does come down. And then we do have these wheels with the yellow rims, rubber tires, and put those together. So those wheels are pretty wide, so this can, you know, stand on its own. It also is pretty easy to knock over, but it can stand on its own, which is very, very nice. And I'm actually surprised. Yeah, 4 studs wide, but I really like how some of the shaping is done. So I like that this slims down here. This bracket it's only like 3 pieces on each side to get this angle here, but I think that's really, really nice for the shaping. Same for this angle here, and then kind of going back. So I like how these two slopes come together for the overall shaping. It doesn't feel too blocky or boxy or bulky. It feels appropriate for a minifigure here, and it is built up a ways, but that feels appropriate for Batman there as well. So I really like this. There's no stud shooters on here. You don't get a minifigure, you don't get a Batarang or anything like that. But as far as like small poly bag size, foil bag size, you know, a minifigure scale things like this for a side build or a vehicle build, as far as a bat bike goes or a bat cycle goes, I think this is super serviceable and actually better than I thought it would be. From the pictures, I think I couldn't really tell, you know, what this was going to look like right there or some of these angles, but I ended up really, really finding it fluid and nice, and the shaping ends up like tapering really, really well. When there's like gaps to see a little bit of that yellow through there, I think that's appropriate. And overall, this is really nice. Bat wings are a nice touch there, and it is a perfectly good bat bike to be added to for play or for whatever else. Like I said, no minifigure in here, but I did have a Batman nearby, which is great to see. I think in terms of value, you know, this magazine costs $4.99 or £5 UK, which is probably $6-ish. The exchange rates are ever changing and a little bit weird right now, but it's probably close to 6 something, which isn't terrible, especially when I consider like what I have here compared to other polybags, even other Batman polybags that have been on the market, as well as similar polybags like that Venom bike, which does come with a minifigure there. But comparing this to the other Batman magazines I've looked at from the UK, the mini Batmobile one probably had a similar amount of pieces to this, maybe a little bit more. And then there was the Batman with the kind of jetpack wing thing there, and that one had probably fewer pieces, but had it was sort of a minifigure and an accessory, and this is kind of the mix between there. So it's like its own standalone vehicle, no minifigure, but a good amount of stuff here. This feels appropriate for the price, and I like the idea of collecting a bunch of these magazines to have an array of different bat vehicles, and be interested to see, you know, all the different different iterations of a bat bike that have been made, but this one is cool. It's foldable, it's got a streamlined design, and it's got cool wheels. I think I agree with all of that to a certain extent. I don't know how foldable it is, but these wings can kind of come back down a little bit, which is cool. I do like the streamlined design. That was kind of my favorite thing about it that I maybe didn't anticipate. The wheels are cool, and I have a very nice small little build here that's all encompassing. There's no extra pieces in this because there's not a ton of 1x1s. I mean, I don't know if these ever really come with extra pieces. They might not. I mean, the 1x1 stud that is in here, that kind of dark gray metallic stud, that probably would have been an extra piece. I'm not sure if, I think these are usually an extra piece, as well as this cheese wedge here, but I did not get those in the bag. That's okay for this kind of thing. And then when I'm thinking of the value even more besides just this, I think there's value in the magazine as well. There's tons of activities. I don't know how long it would take. There's also the comic, which I will definitely be reading because I like comics and I like the Lego DC comics and other stuff that I've seen. And so there's value in the printed sort of thing here with the magazine as well. It's hard for me to quantify, but when I add that to the value that I perceive from the build itself, I think this makes sense. You know, if I try to factor in my travel expenses and you know, all that other stuff from getting this in the UK back over to the States where I am, you know, then it's maybe cost prohibitive. But at as its own, if they sold this for $5, $6, $7 in the US, I would think that's relatively fair and not a big deal. So I'm happy I was able to look at this. I'm very, very glad to be back at my home and where I record and everything like that. Had a nice vacation, a nice break from different things, but I'm excited to be back looking at more Lego magazines and then tons of other Lego sets, you know, new sets. There was a lot that have released in August and now into September that I'm looking forward to, and we're just going to keep going with the channel. So if you stuck around while I was gone, I appreciate it, and I'm going to keep getting back to it here. So I think that's it. I like this, and yeah, if you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more magazines, more Lego DC, more Lego Batman, tons of other Lego sets from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming Lego videos. And if you wanted to support this channel and support my videos here, you could do that here on YouTube with membership, supers, and thanks. And I have the Patreon. It's in the video description. It's on my channel page, patreon.com/sobricks. So maybe consider checking those things out. It does help me a lot. So if you wanted to give money to the channel, it helps keep the channel going, and that's all goes back into the channel. So I very much appreciate it, but it's not needed, it's not necessary, it just helps. So if you're interested, there's options, and I think that's it. So thank you very much, and with all that said, until next time, thanks, bye.